Good morning, Grand Rising. Blessings to each of you here on Humanity Healing. And wherever else you may see this video later, um, I post it on my blog and I post it on my Facebook page as well. So, my messages are always something that I awaken to. I don't plan these, and I'm guided by my higher self and those with whom it is in contact with to look at the world that we're in this moment and what's happening, and to feel how it's affecting me. And what I'm learning right now is that a lot of the things that are affecting us are not new. They're old, very old, and they're getting older by the minute and less tolerable. So what happens is we forget many times what it is that we're feeling and experiencing and thinking of it as new because it's showing up in new forms, or we're feeling differently about it, or it's overwhelming us now where before it didn't overwhelm us. So all of these things are part of the process of our evolution, our human evolution, both physical and emotional. And so today I went back through my files and I found one that hit me well 5 or 6 years ago anyway, and it's still playing out. It's just at a different level. So what I'm learning is that a lot of the things that I went through, or we all have gone through over the past 5, 6 years, 10 years, are really something that we need to look again at, and not with the how do I say it, the intention of to see how horrible it was, but to see how we reacted to things, and did that reaction work? Was it sufficient to bring us into a place of change, of evolution, where we gained from it rather than it took us uh, off the main road or sent us backwards? I know most of us don't like to do that. It's not a fun job. So I don't expect anybody to dive into this in a hurry, but it will happen. It's happening now and it's coming up for all of us. So pay attention to it, is really what I'm trying to say. Pay attention to when these past events start to come up. I look at them as wanting to be released. Okay, and this is this part of blaming or balancing that came up for me this morning was, do I continue to blame somebody or for something, or do I learn how to balance that and realize that there's nothing I can do about that to change the outcome? That it is, you know, I can try. It doesn't mean I attempt it if it's that important, but not to expect that just because I want something, that I have the right to change somebody else's way of thinking or a way of judging others. And when we look at the history of humanity, this has been a struggle for all of us, and that's what most fights start about. And then the fights may start as local family fights, but then other people get pulled into it, and many of us are murdered, literally murdered. And I look at that as a murder situation here in Maine recently. That in, I don't know the whole story, but perfect bystanders who needed nothing to be part of this horrible murder were sucked into this. So what blaming or balancing is really something that we do inside. We have the ability and the power and the wisdom to do that. We may not think we have, but we do have it. Good morning, Victoria. Cleansing rain in southern Indiana. Bless you. Rain is always a precious element, no matter how it comes or when it comes, and honor it. We don't have to blame the rain. Don't. It was a song, I think. Don't blame it on the rain. And now I'm going back in my past. So, what I'm really talking about today is to look at what's happening in the moment, see how this may have happened before and how you handled it, and learn from that and realize that handling things this way didn't correct it or it made it worse. And then affect yourself into what needs to be done. So the words balancing and blaming really came to me. They caught my attention as I scanned the internet. And I don't watch television. I hear news on the television, which is going on in the other room, which I just totally don't tune into. But it's not easy to dismiss. And there's so many things happening that if I were to listen to all of those things that are being broadcast at me from, I'm going to use the word networks, who are paid to do that by gazillionaires in order to manipulate the mind of the person listening to it. And I'm not going to be sweet about this. I'm going to be perfectly blunt. This is a mental manipulation of the consciousness of humanity. I didn't prepare to say that. That's what's coming through me right now. And it's blaming. And so here's a perfect example of how easily we can blame somebody else for something. And that was given to me so that I could feel that. So the word blame in my notes says, shows me how much we like to point away from ourselves when what is happening to us or around us is difficult to manage an acceptance of. So when we do that, okay, what we're doing is we're making a judgment and we're taking the side. And instead of looking at the situation and saying, what can I do about it? Or what can't I do about it? And moving on, we live with that in the mind. So as you can see, and exactly what I said, it's playing in the background. I can tune into it or I cannot tune into it. To judge it and to blame something for it is now I'm taking my energy and now I've created a thought that now I carry with me through the rest of the day or until I can move on to something else. This is how our brain works. I'm not a doctor. I know nothing about all of that stuff, but I know how my brain works, and I watch it and I see it and how it clings to certain things. And when they cling and they are disturbing me, I have to take a moment and say, I didn't want this. I didn't ask for this. I don't know how I got it. Obviously, some part of me is allowing this to take place. And if I don't want it, then I need to go and find a nice quiet place to meditate and come back, or go for a ride, or whatever it is, to bring the energy back to my brain that will dissipate that. This is healing our own minds. I won't say we don't. I will say we have the ability within us to remedy a lot of the mental stress that we are under without drugs, without doctors, without a medical board to offer you medicines. We internally, as a collective whole being, have the ability to bring ourselves back into a calm and respectful nature, not just to the world around us, but to ourselves. So blaming or balancing is really the key. And if you do one or the other, you are either going to not feel well or you will feel better. So years ago, I think it was, I don't remember, I think I have a poem below what it was, but even before that, I was guided to take the word blame and break it down into meanings. So it's being, B-L-A-M-E. And being is blame, this is the word blame, is B for being or breathing, L for lost or lonely, A for amidst or among, M for multiple or magnified, and energies for E for energies and egos. My brain was not playing with that very well. But that's where it's at. And I can forgive that because I know that that's part of how my brain is operating now. It's now tuning into different strands of information and sources of information. So old patterns will become obsolete. But here we are, blame. Breathing lonely among magnified egos. Blame is a verb. It means to hold responsible or find fault with. How many times do we do that? In a daytime, I don't even want to come. It's a normal process for us. This is what we do, but most of it's unconscious. And that's what I'm trying to express is we need to be become consciously aware of how we're reacting to the world around us and to each other. And stop all of this division and come back into balance. Because division creates an imbalance. If you put too much weight over here, you're going to go this way, too over there. So you want to balance. Balance is a noun. It's stable. A verb moves. It gives motion. A balance is a noun. It's a solid event. And the meaning of that is a stable mental or psychological state, emotional stability, which is much better than finding fault with things. So if we are blaming, we're out of balance. We're emotionally stable in things and not being triggered by stuff, we're in a balance. Doesn't mean we're not going to be like the seesaw and go up and down, but we are not going to go and flip ourselves right out, because those of us who do that suffer in many different ways. It's not just psychological, it can be physical, medical. We create our own inability to resist viruses and all of these things. So blame, the meaning of blame is an energy field which is chaotic and creates a separation within us, so that we direct our focus of personal power, move this over, personal power away from us in order to reestablish a sense of self-control and balance. So it's blaming is always moving things away from us, claiming I didn't do it. I'm innocent. It's not my fault. I'm not. You did it. You did it. You did it, or whatever. I've been doing that since grade school. It's not an unnatural thing. It's about self-defense. So don't beat yourself up about doing that. We all do it. Balance, on the other hand, as a noun, is stability. A noun is balance, is mean you created stability. You're not keeping doing this on the seesaw. Balance is you've got a balance, and it's stable, in which we feel secure. We don't have to guess. We don't have to try to figure out. We feel secure. We feel firm. We feel alive. We feel that we have the wisdom and knowledge and power within ourselves to stand up and be seen and be heard. And we can use our higher dimensions of awareness to avoid chaos or harmful responses from others as we evolve. And we're all evolving, even the ones who are creating or seemingly creating the chaos. And most of it is only because they don't know anything else. Most of us don't apply anything to get out of it. We fall into victimhood, and then we become self-destructive. So we become our own enemy in many ways within ourselves. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, or I'll be here for 3 days. If you want to talk about that, give me a call. I don't charge much. We can talk for hours. My notes are amazing when I write notes, because, and it's funny, I mentioned this yesterday, it's about being multidimensional. And I wrote a poem yesterday while I was in the middle of a meditation and sending energy to the world. And it just, hit me. Oh, this is my multidimensional self. Now we think of that as absurd, but we really are multidimensional beings in more ways than we can describe. So let's rely on that. Let's not just be the singular victim of all of this. Let us be the multidimensional creator that we are. And let's put that brain back into balance with our heart. And when we do that, now the heart is in training the brain, not the brain backwashing on the heart. I like that word, backwashing. My guides. So right now, we're not the only living forms that are evolving. Everything is evolving. And the question is, how do we bring ourselves back into rhythm within ourselves, where we can truly see and feel no longer separated, and stay within the wholeness of our larger embodiment. Our energy field is our larger embodiment. And I'm going to try to just be brief on this, and I'm going to read what I wrote. When did I write it? 17. Okay. So we're at 2024, right? Yeah. And we're talking about or 2023, whatever it is. That's the brain fog. And that's the laugh that I have when it happens. I look at it as a joke on myself. It's not important anymore whether I have brain fog or I don't, or whether I can smell and taste or I can't. Those were values that I held on to, that I bowed to, that I had these great abilities to do that. And now they've been erased or hindered, whatever. Wherever they've gone. And yet there's so much beauty and things to learn about who I am and how I relate to the world around me. And that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me bringing me here to share with you what I go through. And in many ways, it's not I'm creating this to earn money. It's not a job. This is a sharing of heart resonance with you. And this is what I'd like to read to you. That was written in 2000. It was December 8th, 2017. And I don't even think I have a name for it. So let's gather in the center of the circle and call ourselves back from the edge of the abyss into which we are pointing. Let us gather in the heart center, visualizing a brilliant golden ray light descending into our hearts, flowing like a river of golden nectar as it gathers within our heart. Let us bathe in its warm and deep loving kindness, knowing that in this womb of light, we will become whole and complete once again. Feel yourself melting into the warmth of this bliss, which passes all understanding. Knowing once again that you are whole and complete. Each of us a part of each other in harmony and balance, in joy and peace. Let us remember this is who we are as we begin to leave this sacred and loving energy, returning to our outer self, which will now see all of our journeys as a whole, rather than so many tiny scattered particles. I send my blessings to each of you of peace, light, and love, knowing that in your hearts is the power that you need to realign your brain, not only within itself, but in connection to the heart. And in doing that, we ground ourselves to the heart of Mother Earth and anchor ourselves in the heart of the universe, fully connected, fully online, knowing that we are here not as individuals as much as a collective field of energy that when it stands and grounds itself as the pillars of energy that they truly are, everything comes back into a resonant frequency, and the distortion becomes minimal. For it is we, the human beings, who have created most of the distortion in the energy fields of Mother Earth. I love you. I thank you. I respect you. I am you. You are me. We are unity. One heart, one love, forever. Bless you all. May your week be filled with wonderful new visions, new activities, messages that you've been waiting for, coming to you through your higher self, your multidimensional self. We're here to do this, each one of us, in our own particular way, but as a collective whole of humanity. Blessings, everyone. We'll see you next Friday again, or you can visit my Facebook page where I randomly post whatever I post. Whatever comes, rises. And I have a blog as well. I think you can find that anywhere by just Googling Charlie Riverman Bergeron, whoever he really is. Bless you. Thank you, Humanity Healing. Thank you for years ago when I found you in the videos section of YouTube. And you confirmed in me a lot of what I was feeling that I couldn't find anywhere else. That was a long time ago. Bless you.